In this video, I'm going to use a single pipeline made up of lookup activity, ForEach activity, and copy activity to copy multiple tables from the on-prem server to the Azure cloud. Let's get started. Under pipeline, I click the plus sign to create the pipeline. I rename the pipeline. And now that I've created the pipeline, let me go to the on-prem server to create a script that will help me to copy all the tables at once. I've already created the script. This is the script. I run the script. As you can see here, the operation is successful. The script has listed out all the tables. Here I have 5 tables, and it has given me the schema name and the table name. The schema name is says LT, and the table name is product category, and so on and so forth. Let me go over to the Azure cloud. I have the pipeline already, so I'm going to create an activity called lookup activity. I type lookup. This is the lookup. I drag it to the workspace. I rename it. Click on settings. I create a new data set. What I have here is for one table. I click new. The process is going to be the same. I type SQL server, click on it, continue, rename it. Link service, I select the link service. I'm not going to create a new one. The integration runtime, self-hosted integration runtime. Under the tables, I'm not going to select any table because I'm copying all of them. I click OK. Now the data set has been created. I'm going to use the scripts I created earlier on. So I click on query instead of table. Go to my SQL server to copy the script I created earlier on. I paste it here. First row only, I disable it so that it will give me all the tables. If I leave it like this, let's say for example, if I click on this, preview data, it's going to give me the first row information. I'm going to disable this first row only. And let me preview the data again. All the 5 tables have appeared. I'm going to run this lookup activity. What it's going to do is to get all the information, all the records I need, as the script has helped me to get the list of the tables. So I click debug to run the lookup activity. The running is successful. Under output, if I click on input, I'll be able to see the script I used earlier on. Under outputs, I'll be able to see the schema name and the table name of all the 5 tables listed in JSON formats. Now that the lookup activity has been successfully created, let's go over to the activity to search for ForEach. I type ForEach. So this is ForEach activity. I drag it to the workspace. I connect the lookup activity to the ForEach activity. I rename it. What this ForEach activity will do is to iterate the list of the tables so that we'll be able to copy the tables. I click on settings. Under settings, I go to items. I click on it. Click add dynamic content. Here you can see I have lookup for 5 tables, activity output. I click on it. It will generate a script. Under the script, I click value, click OK. If I go back to lookup activity, I go to output and click the output. You can see the value here. That's why I selected the value. What this will do is to iterate the schema name and the table name of all the 5 tables. Let's do a copy activity operation to copy all the tables iterated from the ForEach activity. I click on this pencil icon. It has taken me to the ForEach activity space. Under it, I type copy. This is the copy activity. I drag it inside the ForEach activity space. We have done this copy activity earlier on a single table. The process is going to be the same. I rename this. 2 things to configure here, the source and the sink. I click on the source data set. I'm going to create a new data set. I click on new, type SQL server. So I click on it, click continue, rename this. Link service, I choose this link service created earlier on. I'm not going to pick any table here since I'm copying all the tables. I click OK. I click query because I'm going to use query. Click inside the query, click add dynamic content. I've created the script just like the select statement we normally do in SQL. This is my script. I click OK, configure the source. Another way we can set up the source is by using table. As you can see, I use query to set up the source. All I need to do is just to click on the table, then click on this pencil icon, click on parameters, create a new parameter. I create another one. Click on connection. I click schema name, click dynamic content. This is the parameter I created earlier on. I click on it. So it has generated a script for me. I click OK. I do the same here. Click add dynamic content. Click table. Click OK. Now my data set is dynamic. I go to the copy activity workspace. These are the two parameters I created. I click on it. I click add dynamic content. I click this to generate script. This is my schema name. Schema name. I click OK. I do the same for table. Add dynamic content. This is the way to create the value. Click on this. Table. I click OK. It has set values for it. What this means is that it's going to iterate these 5 tables. Remember, I did this inside my ForEach workspace, and that's the same way it's going to copy all the tables. So this is the way to set it up using table. These are 2 ways in which you can set up the source. It's either you use query or you use table. Whichever way you use, it will get the job done. Now that I've configured the source, let me configure the sink. Before I configure the sink, let me go to the data storage to configure the container. I click container, click on the plus sign, I rename it, click create. I go back to ADF, under sink, under data set, I click plus sign to create a new data set. I click ADL Gen 2. Click on Packer. It's a column-based format I explained earlier on. Click continue. I rename data set. I select the link service I created earlier on. I select the 5 paths. Click OK. This is the 5 paths. I click OK. I've configured the sink. Let me save all the changes. I click publish all. So I'm going to configure the folder structure. Under source, I have the schema name and the table name. I'm going to use the same under sink. I click on the sink. Under this pencil icon, I click open. I click on parameters, click on new to create 2 new parameters. The first one schema name, the second one table name. So I'm going to create values to these parameters, schema name and table name. I click value, click dynamic. Under here I click item dot schema name. I click OK. I will do the same for table name. Click add dynamic, item dot table name. Click OK. So it's going to use this value to generate folder structure. So I click open, click connection. So I'm going to click on directory, click dynamic. I'm going to paste a script that will generate a directory structure for us. Click OK. I'm going to do the same for file name. I click on file name, click add dynamic content. I've already created a script for it. Click OK. So this is a file path name, copy file table, that's the container, the directory, the schema name, and the table name dot packer. We are done with the configuration, both the source and the sink. We can run the pipeline. Let me click publish all to save all the changes. I click publish. It has successfully published. I go to the pipeline to run the pipeline. I have 2 options. I have debug and I have add trigger. I click on add trigger now to run the pipeline. The pipeline running is successful. As you can see, it has copied all the 5 tables to my container. If I go to my storage account, this is the container. Click on it. This is the schema name. If I click on it, so these are the 5 tables. That's how to carry out data activities, to copy tables. That's it for this video. If this video is useful to you, please subscribe and press the bell icon to get notification whenever I release a video. Thank you for watching.